Hello, everybody. Welcome to a war recap that we're doing today. This is a recap of a MLCW Season 8 war of Mercs Legion versus Highly Active. It was the last one of the season, and we had a heck of a lot of fun and put up some really good attacks. And I have a guest here with me today, Slasher, who is going to help to commentate on some of these different attacks. So just to start us off, a little bit about myself. I am in-game. I'm Christine the Mean. I have been clashing for something on the order of 6 years. Seems like forever. I have been in a bunch of different clans and a number of community war leagues, like participated in MLCW and AWL. I've got a lot of different accounts, so I've participated in these at kind of Town Hall 10, 11, and 12 levels, and recently I've started to do a fair amount of competition in the ESL tournaments as well. So I'm really excited to share some of these attacks that Mercs Legion did with you all, and just a quick reminder that Mercs Legion is now recruiting for Season 9, so if you're interested, the information is on this opening slide. And with that, I'll let Slasher tell us a little bit about himself.
Hey, Christine, welcome everybody to the podcast or video show or whatever she calls this. It's a pleasure to be with you guys. And so I've been playing since 2014, so I guess 5 years now. And started out in just a random clan, and then 2 years ago decided to get serious about war, so I actually applied to One Hive and went through the process of that, which was a bit of a shock coming from basically no real war experience, and as you can expect, flamed out in the tryout. And so at that point I ended up over at Mercs Legion and LexCorp, who were a team together. So I spent 2 seasons of CWL Light, basically learning how to be a war attacker. And then a little over a year ago I went back to One Hive, and so I've been with them ever since. So about probably 15, 16 months, something like that. A couple seasons down, one is a 10, and now this season now is a Tier 1 11. So it's been a lot of fun, and I have a fully maxed 10 in Mercs Legion as well. So kind of keep 1 foot in each camp, and it's a lot of fun.
All right, thanks. So I guess we can jump right in and start showing some of these attacks. So this war, we ultimately did not win this war, but we did put up some really good attacks. So the first one that we're going to start with is an 11v11 on number 4 here on Trapper by Jaybird in Mercs Legion. And if you're ready, Slasher, 3...
I just went into it. Let me come back.
Okay.
You do the countdown.
3, 2, 1, go. So this is an electro drag loon attack that Jay did, and you can see he starts out with that E-drag on the town hall and one over here on the dark barracks. Yep,
he's just setting up his funnel now. One of the things I really liked about this is how he set his heroes down at that 6 o'clock corner. Mm-hmm. And as you see his heroes come in, you're going to see that he actually gets 2 air defenses with his heroes, which is a huge value for heroes. So,
it is,
especially with an E-drag attack like this. So.
Yeah, he did a nice job of funneling this one.
Yeah, and he brought 4 freezes, which is something you don't always see. Often you see people bring more rages and heals, but he did a really good job with bringing the freezes, and that's allowed his E-drags to work through the base nicely.
Yeah, I thought it was very well executed, and I think Jay has a really good sense for spell timing and when to drop those spells, which helped him out a lot here.
Yeah, like that's one of the things I noticed about this was he just timed them really well. Like that E-drags is my preferred dip attack. Mm-hmm. I'm the designated dipper for air at One Hive, and I in CWL Invite, and I use E-drags the whole time. Mm-hmm. And very similar in terms of how we use our spell deployments to just keep them pushing through the base. Mm-hmm. He did a really nice job on this one. He
did. It's good to see the 11v11 triple. You know, the rest of our clan struggled a little bit at Town Hall 11, but Jay Bird managed to get a 6-pack with essentially this attack in this war. So it really helped us out a lot on the score side.
Yeah, anytime you can get a couple of triples at 11, it really helps with how you're setting up your 12s and allowing them to go 12v12.
Yep, so we'll just let these drags finish up so we give him the full glory of his triple.
Yeah, and see those 3 brilliant stars come up. So Jaybird actually was in the old farming clan that I was in as well. We were co-leaders together way back when.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so
a long time with Jaybird then.
Yeah, he's a good dude. So
okay, yeah.
And then I think you wanted to look at some 10v10s because we had some beauties this war 10v10 and lots of different various attacks.
We did. Should we start with 13? The Great Pan? Okay, 3, 2, 1, replay. So this one, it's a drag bat. And he starts off also by, using his king to funnel at 6 o'clock, and he's got a queen and a drag up at 9. Building a good path.
Yeah, he builds a nice path in this one, and one of the things you'll notice is he's got both the Stone Slammer and a Hound in there.
He does.
You see, you just put the Hound in to get ahead of that and tank that first air defense, and that was a smart addition rather than just having a couple extra loons and another dragon.
It was.
That Hound, if you can get in on an air defense and have it tank right away, is often really effective. Mm-hmm. So he's got his bat wave going in, or actually he did a bat bomb on the Inferno Tower. And one of the things I saw in this one is if he had done a bat wave from about 330 and dumped him out and to go in on that Archer Tower and air defense, he would have got a lot more value out of it. But he did such a great job with the rest of this attack that it still was massively overwhelming. Even not getting the huge value out of the bats.
The thing that surprised me about this attack is I would not have initially thought to use bats on it just because of the spacing of all the splash damage. And so I was kind of impressed that he managed this with that.
Yeah, the key on that one is just having freezes and timing your freezes if you're going to come in with bats and dealing with splash. But ideally, you want them to path between air defenses and rip apart your air defenses. Right. So if you've got freezes to cover the wizard towers and they sort of logically fit the timing, then it can work really well.
Yeah. So he also, I think, 6-packed with this attack, if I remember right.
Very possibly. I didn't check that, but he's pretty solid with drag.
Very, very solid attack with drag bat here. We'll let this one finish up too to give him the full glory of the triple, but at this point it's a done deal.
Yeah, it was a done deal about 20 seconds ago.
Well, okay.
So you can tell these things are pretty well ahead of time, and you're like, oh, that's a nice triple, and then you wait for a minute for it just to work out.
Just to work out. Clean. I mean, his king is still standing at the end. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And some of these other attacks that you'll see, there's been heroes up and even abilities not being used. So
yeah,
there's been some pretty strong ones in this.
Crazy talk. So one of the other things I liked about this particular war is we had a huge variety of Town Hall 10 attacks that came into play. We didn't just see one kind, and so you're going to see a whole bunch of different ones today. Now this next one's kind of embarrassing, so we're going to look at 14. And the reason it's kind of embarrassing is because it was my hit. So I can tell you what I was thinking when I was hitting. And you'll see how it didn't quite go to plan.
How about we scout it and you can tell us what your thought was.
Okay, I'll hit scout.
So I'm in scout.
All right, I'm looking at scout.
You tell us what you were thinking.
Okay. So what I was thinking was if I can put my queen in at somewhere around 5 o'clock with healers, so do a queen walk, and if I can kind of funnel her in towards the middle of the base, that she can, grab the CC and the opposing queen. What I was thinking. So and trying to skinny up the base so that I could deploy miners essentially from 330 to 430, and that they would kind of path through the middle there. With the wrecker to tank, that was another idea that I had there. And it didn't exactly go according to plan. I did take a hog because I was a little worried that with my queen walk she wouldn't go in, and then the CC would be left presumably flying and destroying my miners.
Yeah, that would be a disaster.
So yeah, so it went a little funny. So, but we'll hit the replay. Ready for that?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, replay. Okay.
All right.
So I put that giant.
One of the things I liked about this is I hadn't seen someone use witches, like the giant witch, to funnel a corner before.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was an interesting idea, and you got a lot of value out of it. Like when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, geez, what are you doing that for?" And then when you see how far that witch gets down the 6 to 9 side, you get a lot of value out of that. And then I was watching the charge, and I was looking at this, going, "Oh, she is headed down that channel."
That's what I
because
thought.
I kind of knew where you were going with this, and I'm like, "Oh, that's not going to be what she's after." But great use of the rage, got the CC, which you needed to do. And then she gets into that channel. And one idea that I really liked on this one was backing up the king with witches. That's something I hadn't seen before, and it was a very effective funnel on that side and kept things in the whole time. And as you watch the whole attack come through, those witches stay up the whole attack. Mm-hmm. And so you've got skellies just wreaking damage. The one value I really liked out of the queen here is by going down that channel, you got both a wizard tower and a bomb tower, which can be devastating to miners. So you've got the wall wrecker tanking the big wizard tower, and your miners are perfectly grouped up. All the splash damage is hitting something other than your miners, so it's the best of everything right there.
It sort of got kind of magical. I mean, I don't often 10v10 triple, so this was somehow it just all worked out. Yeah,
and then 2 really good heal placements on the backside, like one to catch the edge of the wizard tower, and then to catch the wizard tower, bomb tower, and the inferno all in one. Like that was huge value out of those 2 heals. So that got you a lot more out of your miners to secure that triple for you. So.
Yeah. So that trick with the king and the couple of witches in the corner, I use that often on my 12, actually.
Okay.
And when I'm putting in some kind of a P.E.K.K.A. smash or a P.E.K.K.A. Bobat, I will often funnel one of the corners with the king and some witches. So it's just stolen from a different town hall.
Nice. Well, I'm probably going to steal that idea and use it myself from time to time.
Well, it takes the right base, the right layout, but when there's a bunch of outside stuff, it works. So
yeah. Well, that's one of the things I was really impressed with this war was how much variety there was in the 10v10, and that people really chose attacks that fit the bases well.
Yeah, I thought we did a great job.
Like whoever, I think it was Iculus, was doing the war generaling, and I'd have to give shout out to him on this one for making sure that people were hitting bases with the appropriate armies. That makes just a huge difference for success.
Yeah, it was just great. It was a good war for us. Even though we didn't win, it was still really at the 10v10 level. This was good, I thought.
Well, I think this was the best war 10v10 of the season, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Or
yes,
close to it.
We did really well.
Top 2 or 3 for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, should we move on to 17?
Yeah.
So let's scout that one. So Skittles goes in at this one with hogs, and he did this similar attack on 2 bases and also managed a 6-pack with this attack.
Yeah, honestly, hogs on this one kind of surprised me. Like I looked at this one and I'm like, Electrode.
Well, you think that on every base, though.
I think that on every base, though. But boy, it's sure set up for that. And I was like, and then when I saw the replay, I'm like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Totally not something I would have chose, but effective nonetheless.
All right, let's hit the replay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. So my first time through this one, what I was most impressed with is the value he gets out of the kill squad. It's a big kill squad with 2 golems and a P.E.K.K.A., which sometimes you see bowlers in this this setup. I think he's got bowlers in the CC.
Mm-hmm.
But as you go through, like if you look at where he is when he gets to deploying the hogs,
Mm-hmm.
he's taken out the entire left side of the base, and he's at about 40%.
Yeah.
More than half the defense is down. He just gets amazing value.
He did. I was also surprised by how wide he set that initial kill squad funnel. I mean, it was way very wide, but it did a great job clearing it all.
Yeah, I think probably because of the way that center compartment with the double channel there is set, I think he wanted to make sure he cleared off the whole piece of that so that everybody forced to the left side,
like really
left
smart.
As he's attacking.
And now the hogs coming in?
Yeah, but like here, you're at 42%. There's nothing left on that whole side of the base, and he's got 2 wizard towers and and a whole mess of hogs and 3 heals.
Right.
So, at that point, you're like, hey, great attack, nice triple.
Yeah, at this point, you already know. He's at 50%, and you already know that he's got this.
Yeah, and his queen's shooting the Inferno Tower, so it's like, I think on this one, he might have even not used the queen ability. Like, it was that overpowering.
Well, it would appear that he could swag a heal, and, I mean, he just really wrecked this base.
Yeah, it was a great attack, so... Hogs, when they're done right, are kind of like Lalo. Like, when you pick them on the right base and you get the nice shaping, they're just devastating. But you gotta do them the right way for sure.
He did a beautiful job with this hit.
He sure did. So he was tasting the rainbow in about 10 seconds.
Skittles, yes. He has a number of other accounts that also have similarly colorful names.
Ah. Very nice.
All right, well, that was a great hit by Skittles. So, let's see. The next one we wanted to do was 18 by Kickin' Ash.
Yeah, our illustrious leader.
Our illustrious leader, that's right.
Oh, did you already press replay?
I did not, did you?
Oh, you're a scout. Okay, I'll go back and go scout. So
I picked a scout. So he had a bowler witch P.E.K.K.A. thing that he's going to do here. So,
yeah, and... this one, I looked at this and I'm like, base design flaw is putting your town hall directly after the end of a long, skinny base.
Yeah, you didn't like that, huh?
That one just screams, hit me with bitch. Or,
all right.
Some sort of, in this case, Havoc hit it with bitchy P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah.
You'll smash bases like this.
All right. Let's hit the replay. A good read from him then. 3, 2, 1, replay. Okay. So 3 P.E.K.K.A.s. I didn't even know. Does this have a name?
Well, I was going with bitchy P.E.K.K.A.
Did you make that up? Are you like the official namer?
No. But
okay.
That was a good name for it.
Okay. That's fair. Bitchy P.E.K.K.A.
Yeah.
So you like running Boulder Witch Street directly across from the town hall?
Yeah, if you can run it down the length of the base like this, it sets up nice and narrow, so you get good value on your spells. And one of the things he does nicely here, right there, is he puts both a heal and a rage as he deals with the queen and the CC. And on a base that's got a little bit of spread like that, you could easily run into a giant bomb right there, and that wipes out your witches.
Yep.
And you'll stall the attack. So rather than using a poison, using the heal and rage combo, that was a very effective way to keep everything pushing through. And then he's got a couple of freezes here as well that he does a nice job with.
Yeah, he did some nice job with the placement on those. Actually getting multiple defenses.
Yeah, and then his wall record makes it all the way to the town hall.
Sort of unbelievable.
Yeah. On a long base like that shows you just how well he used his spells to get everything through.
Well, and you could even see how much wall he plowed in the middle there with that wrecker, so it wasn't like it was speeding through. It was...
No, that might actually help them, because it would have kept everything going through in one single wave. And his P.E.K.K.A. is still up, so, I mean, clearly that was in the middle doing a lot of damage.
Yep. This is one where if you didn't have that P.E.K.K.A., you'd be worrying about some bombs in there by those Teslas, but with the P.E.K.K.A., it's...
Yeah. Well, and also potentially timing out, because the P.E.K.K.A. brings a lot of damage, so you'll get through that stuff a lot quicker. I don't think there's a bomb in there. I don't remember seeing one, but...
It's just what I'd be worried about.
Oh yeah, that's a classic witch trap.
I don't think we got to see it because the witches never walked over it.
No,
they took down the Tesla, yeah. So that was a great hit by Kickin' Ash.
Yeah.
And let's see. Our next one is number 19, Phoenix. So we'll scout this one for a second here. He did some... Yeah. This was an interesting attack.
Yeah, this was a crazy one.
Crazy attack. I had not seen this attack before, so...
I've seen it, but I've not seen it work.
All right, well, let's hit the replay. 3, 2, 1, replay.
All right. So you'll notice he's got 5 healers for a queen charge, and then you're like, what is he farming now? Because I use mass baby dragons for farming, so I'm like, okay, I got to see this.
Well, and he's got the 5 healers for the queen charge, but with a slammer. It's not like there's a wrecker. So it was just really, I was, when I opened this one up, I was really surprised at the comp.
It's an interesting thought. And then as you watch it kind of unfold, you're like, okay, I see where he's going with this. He's going to get, all 4 defenses with his queen. He's going to kind of just wall break in and do that.
Yeah. So here at the beginning, he was really good about, not dropping those healers on his queen until she started to take some damage. Yeah. That's something that I struggle with. And then he had a number of wall breaker failures, which...
Well, no, his wall breakers actually...
Oh, that first one did it, yeah.
But
that's right.
It had already started pathing.
Yeah.
So it was like, oops, okay, how are we going to fix this?
That's right. She ignored the wall break. That's what it was.
And he, I thought he was going to get the recovery there and go back into the wall break, but the baby dragon didn't quite get it fast enough, so he had to try and cut it again and saved it with the jump. So
but
he did a great job there. He
had this jump in the comp, so he must have originally thought he was going to jump into the CC compartment if she followed in. But
I think that was his plan.
He did a great job, saving it there.
Yeah, so...
Kind of doing...
Often you'll see things go sideways in a hurry when you're trying to save them like that. It didn't work out very well.
Yeah, he managed to get it to work out.
Yeah. And then, he sort of got that chunk out, and you're like, okay, well, I can see where dragons make sense and that, and then comes in with some dragons, and the slammer comes in there, and without an air defense shoot, that slammer gets amazing value.
It does.
You watch how deep it gets.
And with the Infernos on multi too.
Yeah.
He does, and he continues to do kind of a nice job of I want to say metering out those baby dragons. He didn't just put them all in. He's kind of being careful about his deployment with them.
Yeah, and with baby dragons, because if you get them together, they lose all their excitement. I guess they call it a tantrum or something.
Well, they are babies, so babies have tantrums.
Yeah, but he does a good job in keeping them spread out to get value out of each one of them. So, not the way I would have thought to draw it up, but boy, it was a good attack.
I thought I was surprised and delighted by this triple. I hadn't seen this comp, so. And he's clearly quite skilled at it. He had his objectives in mind going in.
Yeah, he definitely knew what he was going to do with each piece of it and did a great job.
It's a great job by Phoenix.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. Our next one, I think, is 22. Is that right?
Yeah, that's the one we were going to look at.
So Leonidas. So I just put that one on Scout.
Yeah.
And he had another Bowler Witch attack that we're going to see here. And this is one Leonidas also six-packed with this style of attack. So let's see how he goes after that. 3, 2, 1, replay.
Well, he starts off with the funnel on both sides, and he's got the healers on his witches.
Yeah.
And on one of those, he runs into a Troll Tesla, which can often create some issues for you. So good thing he had the healers there.
And the Giants tanking it helped too.
Yep. And one of the nice things was he dropped his wall wrecker towards the left of the entry, which really helps here on the angle it takes through the base, because it's always going to take a straight line to the town hall. if he had dropped it in the middle of that side, he would have ended up way over by the wizard tower and wouldn't have gotten through the core of the base.
Right.
So really good job with his position of the drop here.
And his funnel worked out nicely too. It's got everything going into the middle there. It's just a nice push.
Yeah, and with the width of those compartments, it allows you to reach from that center compartment to the next level of everything except the outside compartment. So it just sort of doesn't look like a base that's really perfect for Witch, but once you get everything in there and see where the bowler bounces go, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, that works.
It's like a perfect shape for it without really thinking so.
When people get good at attacks, they get good at reading the bases for those attacks too. So
yeah,
sometimes the things that occur to me are only based on the attacks I normally do, and it's fun to see how people who are really skilled with something approach it.
Yeah, and you can see here his queen took out the 2 wizard towers on the top, which is the only major threat left to that big witch group coming around. So at this point, it's all over.
Yeah. Well, Warhawk the Defender was trying to be tricky with all those Troll Teslas, but Leonidas overcame it. Yeah,
you see some of those, and this was just smashed. So great job by Leonidas.
Yep, that was another good triple. Also didn't need his queen ability there. It was overwhelming. Okay, and our next one, I think, was 24. I'll scout that one.
Yeah.
This is King Bob doing another drag bat attack.
Yeah, King Bob's one of our co-leaders of Mercs Legion, and from the other side of the world from us, he's...
He lives in the UK.
Yeah, so we've got co-leaders around the world, which is kind of cool.
It is. All right, let's replay that. 3, 2, 1, replay. So he's got a queen walk in this comp too.
Yep. So he's looking like he's trying to set up a funnel from 6 and send his queen towards 9 to pick off those 2 air defenses, which should be, really good for this attack. Though as he sets up this queen walk, I was like, oh, that's going to be a problem because he doesn't get enough of the funnel cut. So specifically that drill is going to be a problem. It's going to pull her over. And one of the things he does beautifully here is as the queen gets in and starts shooting on the air defense, so she'll step up here and takes the hut and then comes forward. So right here, he puts a dragon on the drill. So by the time that storage goes down, the drill is gone.
Oh yeah.
And she turns around and goes left. She was gonna go right if that drill is there.
And he wanted her to go left.
Oh yeah. Yep. That would have been a big problem to go
to go get that other air defense over there.
Yeah. So her job's that, and then you can see the bats coming in. He's doing a bat move. In this one, again, because he did such a good job funneling the dragons and using his queen, he kind of runs out. Like, he doesn't get... I'm not even sure he gets that air defense down. Oh, yeah, he does. Okay. One of the tips that I've seen is when you're dealing with an Expo, you're better off freezing an Expo and a multi-inferno, and then also the wizard tower behind it, like doing 2 freezes instead of a rage. And that way your bats just stay up. Like, they don't move as fast, but you get way more value out of them because they're not getting picked off by an Expo. Because an Expo just shreds them.
Well, he did a good job with this. The funnel worked well. You're right about the queen. She's still up at the end here. Just devastating.
Yeah, pretty common theme is if you get a good funnel, it works well an awful lot of the time.
We have to learn that at what, Town Hall 8? 7?
Yeah, I think it was 7. That's where you really had to learn how to funnel. And there's been a ton of good videos out there about, how to funnel. And I remember Jake's old thing from... I don't remember what his channel was called.
I was going to say I learned how to funnel from Jake from One Hive. I don't remember what the channel was, but that's who I know that I saw a funneling tutorial from him a long time ago. Yeah,
that's where I learned it from, too.
Yeah. Okay, so 24, I think, was our next one. Oh, that was 24. Yeah, so we're 26.
Yeah, 26.
So this one, let's scout that. Freak, yes. Captain Freaky, Freak Worldwide. He has been in the clan for a while and has multiple accounts. And he used a whole bunch of golems with his witches here, so let's replay that. 3, 2, 1, replay.
Another person who's particularly effective with multiple golems and a bitch attack is Snow in our clan.
Yes.
Quite good with this one. So it's pretty similar to what Havoc did with having P.E.K.K.A.s doing this. But these will target defenses automatically, so you got to kind of look and see what the pathing from defense to defense would be. And sometimes P.E.K.K.A.s are going to be the choice, and sometimes because you definitely want them to go in.
You want them to go in.
Yeah, and in this one, I'm pretty sure this was a fresh hit because you got that golem going down the side from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, which ended up being a blessing because you got 2 splash damage there with the wizard tower, the bomb tower, and then an entire Tesla farm little channel.
Yep.
So it worked out better that golem went down the side.
It was just a well executed attack.
Yeah, and he's got a heal and a rage in the core there, so when the bomb tower went off and there was a giant bomb in there, that everything stays up, and I'll let him jump hop over the wall and get right to the back edge. Well, I guess this isn't King Bob, so I can't say Bob's your uncle, but...
No. He's getting freaky on this base.
yeah, he just... And I don't think he uses his queen ability on this one either.
No, it's another one that you still have plenty of time left, and you just know it's over. That whole base is down.
Yeah, there's nothing going to stop everything that he's got up at this point.
Yeah, it was a good attack. You know, it hadn't struck me until just now how similar that is to the Town Hall 9 Gobo Wee Wee. It's not that different.
Yeah, it's very similar and equally effective. But it's all about picking the right base for it.
Yep, that was a good hit by Freak Worldwide, or we mostly know him as Captain Freaky.
Yeah.
And then I think our last hit that we were going to look at was 29.
Yeah, that was
right?
The one.
All right, do you want to scout that one first?
Well, this one, I was licking my chops for Electron on this one because that's what I'm an air attacker, so I like to look for air attacks here. And some of the times you're going to use your heroes to clear a chunk out and set a path, and other times you're going to get your heroes to actually go in and help. And in this one, he used his heroes to create the pathway, which I thought was really smart.
Okay.
So he's going to do an Electron coming in from 6 o'clock to get directly onto that Inferno Tower, take out the AD, the Queen, and the CC, and then you'll see how nicely that sets up with a good L shape in the base for the follow-up Lalo.
All right. So this is San Antarius, and should we replay it?
Yeah, let's look at it.
3, 2, 1, replay.
Okay.
You're right about the heroes?
Yeah, so this is almost the exact comp. Well, it is the exact comp that I usually use. No, he's got 2 clones. So what I would normally do is I would normally have a poison and I'd have a heal in there because I like to have a heal for my limbs in case they're running a couple of red bombs in a row. But he's chosen to go with the extra value of the clone spell, which when you can double clone and get a whole mass of loons inside a base, that can often work out really well like it did in this instance. So once the Queen gets his cannon down, then that sets up the funnel for defenses, so his nearest point is definitely going to be that Inferno. One of the smart things he does is he drops a couple of loons. The idea behind that being that you're going to pull any black mines that might be there, because if you've got a double black mine on the entry path for Electron, that slammer goes down immediately.
You need it to last until it's over here by the Queen, right?
Yeah, once you get to where he is there, it's like, ha ha ha, that's perfect. But if you run into a couple of black bombs on the entry, it can stop it dead. And then you have a whole mess of trouble.
So
you can see he's set up...
Go ahead.
You can see he's set up a nice C shape. He's got 2 of the air defenses down. He's got, I think, 3 hounds, which is loads of tanking for this. And he's got the loons coming in. He does get a little bit a little bit of separation between the loons and the hounds, which you don't want, but he does a nice job with the haste spell to get them caught up again. You'll see him zip right into that air defense. And then similarly on the wizard tower, it's looking the other way, freezes the Inferno, and he's in great shape. Like, he's got a loon parade coming with no splash defense left.
Yeah.
This is over at this point.
He also has a really good feel on his spells and spell timing and dropping. I
find Lalo, you need to be a little better with your spell timing than some other attacks. Like, it takes a little bit of practice, but once you get it, it can be really, really strong.
Yeah, I could just tell from watching this that he's done this attack a bunch of times. And
not his first rodeo.
No, it was not his first time trying this Electron, or this version of Electron. So
yeah,
beautiful hit.
One of the good things is he managed to get the sweepers not fighting his loons, so he got them out of the way. Like, if I go back in and scout this, so
let me go back in.
Just a second. If you look at the direction of the sweepers, one is facing directly over the CC, and the other one's facing towards 12 o'clock.
Ah, yeah.
So that's why he did his Lalo across the base from 4 o'clock, as opposed to coming in at, say, 9, which is the other potential side to come in on, because he would have gone right into the face of that sweeper.
Yeah, it seems pretty vulnerable from air. Now that you mentioned where those sweepers are, you can see why he would pick that. So. Yeah,
from a base defense perspective, if he has those sweepers facing like 5 and 10, like straight across the base, that would make it a lot more difficult to Lalo it. But the way that it's set up here is it's not defending the entry for the Electron, and it's not defending the Lalo.
Yep.
So those sweepers, basically, the way he picked to do this, aren't doing a thing.
Again,
always nice when you can identify a base that does that.
Really good eye by Sanitarius in picking this attack for this base and deploying it well. So
yeah,
good
absolutely.
job. So I think that was all of them we were going to look at today. So
there was a lot of good attacks there, and a lot of good differences, like different types of things, which you don't always see. Like, sometimes it's just, a clan will put up bases that are vulnerable to one thing, and so everybody hits with hogs or everybody hits with loons. But this was a nice variety of stuff.
Right. I mean, we had hogs and miners and dragbat and electron and witches, and I mean, just a huge variety. So I was delighted to see an opportunity for us as Mercs Legion to show our level of skill with this. So
yeah, it was really great.
Yeah, so that's going to wrap it up for us. Just a reminder to everybody out there, we are recruiting Town Halls 10 and 11 to join us for Season 9. The information on our Discord channel is shown on this closing slide. Hope to see you all soon. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Slasher.
Thanks for having me, Christine.
All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.